President Barry Jagdeo is among 33 leaders who have signed the Declaration on Integration and Development and the conclusion of the first summit of Latin America and the Caribbean.
Chief Traffic Officer Neil Semple calls on motorists to desist from drinking and driving during the festive season.
And several speedboat operators agreed to lower the fares to the previous rate after meeting with Commerce Minister Maniram Prashad.
And of course, we will bring you the latest sporting action in the Diamond Mineral Water and NCN Sport News. Good evening, I am Janelle Prasad.
And I'm Paul Moore.
With this edition of the 6 o'clock news for today, Thursday, December 18, 2008. Here's what's happening.
Thanks, Janelle. President Barry Jagdeo is among 33 leaders who have signed the Declaration on Integration and Development at the conclusion of the first summit of Latin America and the Caribbean. The declaration signals the conviction that political, economic, and social integration are necessary for sustainable development and continued welfare of all citizens. The leaders have reaffirmed their commitment to defend sovereignty and build political systems which respect human rights, while recognizing international laws and finding peaceful solutions to differences. In his address to the summit on Tuesday, President Barry Jagdeo reiterated calls made in Cuba for LAC countries to agree on a common course of action on climate change ahead of the Copenhagen round in December. He also emphasized the importance of adapting to climate change, noting that failure to do so can result in losses of more than 50% of a country's gross domestic product. Chief Traffic Officer Neil Semple has called on motorists to desist from drinking and driving during the festive season. Edward Lane reports.
Mr. Semple, in an interview with this newscast, said that during the festive season, which is expected to be wet, vehicle owners should have a designated driver if they have to consume alcohol. He has issued a strong warning that the force will not go lightly with persons driving under the influence.
And is a source of danger to persons traveling on the road, drivers who want to still maintain the same excessive speed, right? So we're advising all category of drivers of all vehicles to be extra cautious on the road at this point in time in regards to the heavy rainfall. Not only in terms of the heavy rainfall on the road, we expect into the festive season, where we know it's a social custom in Guyana for persons to consume a large amounts of alcohol, coming from various parties and other social engagements.
Meanwhile, the traffic chief says the force has already started its public education program on the new traffic legislation passed in Parliament earlier this year.
While we have got the law on drinking and driving is being approved, and it's not been assented to yet because we're still doing some sensitization process, we hope at this point in time persons should start practice themselves into the habit of having a designated driver. We don't have to wait until it has been enacted into law, but we should get a common practice. We're going about our social engagements from now to the remainder of the year to have a person designated as a driver. If you drink, you must not drive.
The bill to allow the use of breathalyzer, amongst other things, was passed in the National Assembly earlier this year, but President Barry Jagdeo did not assent to the bills, citing the need for an intensive public awareness campaign. Edward Lane, the 6 o'clock news.
The Linson news just coming to hand. A mid-afternoon fire has resulted in the death of 40-year-old Ronald Mazier of 32A, Sussex and Ketley Streets. Unconfirmed reports say the man was drunk while his 3 foster children were trying to prepare something to eat when the stove tipped over. Gary Beckles, a resident of Alboystown, said he was on his way to work when he saw the house on fire and jumped the fence because the gate was locked. Mr. Beckles was able to rescue the 3 children. The fire service arrived some minutes later and was able to control the fire. Meanwhile, the children are staying with a nearby relative while the police try to find the mother. Several speedboat operators have agreed to lower the fares to the previous rates during a meeting with Commerce Minister Maniram Prashad. Ernestine Jagnarayan was at that meeting yesterday.
While speedboat operators have agreed to lower their fares, Commerce Minister Maniram Prashad says the reduction does not include all areas covered. He has disclosed that discussions are also ongoing with other associations.
We've never had any formal arrangement with the speedboat owners, but I approached them last Sunday at Parika, and a group that is represented by, call themselves the Parika Supernam Speedboat Owners Association, whose president is Mr. Curtis Adams, have agreed to reduce the price from $1,200 per crossing to $1,100 per crossing. And I'm meeting with them again before the end of the week to see if that price can come down further.
In light of decreased fuel prices, the minister is of the opinion that all transportation costs should be further reduced. Gasoline prices now stands at $555 per gallon, diesel at $6.96, and kerosene at $477 per gallon. This has been a result of interventions made by government.
So the message is, across the board in the country, you have to pay the old fares for transportation, pay the old fares for transportation. And we're looking to see if we can get the associations to bring the fare even lower than the old fares, because that is how it should be. The price should even come down further. So we're having discussions in that vein.
In the meantime, Minister Prashad has warned the Consumers Association not to apply for subvention for this year, since they have failed to represent consumers' interests in this regard. Ernestine Jagnaran reporting for the NCN 6 O'Clock News.
Thanks for staying with the NCN 6 O'Clock News. Acting Police Commissioner Henry Green has issued a strong call for citizens to stop paying the police for traffic offences. He is of the opinion that such acts of bribery will only cause corruption to reign in the country. The Woodlands Hospital is now better equipped to screen for breast cancer and other illnesses with the acquisition of mammogram unit and a digital X-ray. According to the hospital's managing director, Dr. Neville Gobin, this will significantly boost health care in the country. Natasha Smith has more.
The Trust Company of Guyana and Yesu Prasad have assisted the Woodlands Hospital with the financing to procure equipment that gives an early detection of breast cancer and other illnesses. The $40 million digital X-ray is the first of its kind in Guyana and the fourth such equipment in the Caribbean.
Digital X-rays is the gold standard internationally in X-ray technology, and this equipment is only about a fourth in the Caribbean. Similarly, the mammogram is also very high-tech, and we're about the fourth machine also in the Caribbean. We recognize that breast cancer is the leading cause of cancer in women in Guyana, right? And with this machine, we will be able to diagnose breast cancer at an early stage.
The hospital also plans to improve its services in the coming year with more equipment.
Well, we're hoping to want to improve our ICU, right? By bringing in more equipments, ventilators, monitors, etc. We also have acquired an echo machine, and we have a doctor who will be here next week to train some of our local doctors in the use and diagnosis of the echocardiogram, that is patients with heart conditions, right?
Dr. Gobin says the hospital's goal is to provide affordable health care to patients, as the price to use the machines stays at about $7,000. Reporting for the 6 O'Clock News, Natasha Smith.